Have you ever noticed that the harder you stop trying to overthink, the more you seem to think and over worry? It's almost as if though somebody's told you, don't think about those pink elephants. What's the first thing that comes to mind? What does your brain love to do? It's going to bring up a pink elephant. So telling yourself, just stop overthinking, or telling somebody else doesn't actually work at all. In fact, it often makes it a lot worse and it undermines other people as well. So if you're new here today, welcome. I'm Jo. I'm a wealth and identity mentor, and I help women build the beliefs, the identity, and the nervous system reset they need to step into the next level of their lives to create their own dreams and desires. So today, I'm going to help you understand why you overthink and see it for what it truly is, because that's the biggest game changer. And if you're liking this kind of content, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because every week I share videos to help you master and understand yourself better so you can create a life you choose to live and not get run away with what's currently happening in life. So I've been coaching women now for just over 17 years, through over a decade within the NHS, and now through my own company, Reconnect Fire, which I created about 5 years ago now. So here's what I really find interesting, that so many women say to me that their mind is just constantly on the go. It just doesn't stop. And so many thoughts are just rushing around. They can't really get time to get any peace or feel like there's any space. And often it's keeping them up at night, and it's actually preventing them go to sleep for hours because the mind is totally overthinking itself. And actually, what is actually happening? Because most women don't believe they can actually stop it. And instead of trying to pick it apart, I often will explain this as simple as it can be. And that maybe it's not so much that you can't control this, but more often that you have a belief which is aiding it. Because basically your brain simply has learnt along the way that overthinking keeps you safe. It believes that what it needs to do for you to survive. So it's just a normal function, and it thinks and believes it's helping you, when you feel it's the complete opposite. Let me explain, and I want you to think about this. If your brain believes that worrying about everything means you'll be prepared and ready, it's going to keep you worrying about everything. It's going to keep you overthinking. It's going to help you pick apart everything over and over again. Just like if it believes that analysing every conversation stops people reacting and rejecting you, maybe. Its job is to keep you analysing every word someone says then. And if it believes thinking everything through in detail over and over, and it means that you'll never make a mistake, so you're not going to be made fun of or criticised again, it's going to keep thinking, overwhelming you over and over and on full repeat until you choose to do something about breaking this pattern. And I'm not talking about this because you're broken or there's something wrong with you. It's just simply your brain is doing the job it thinks it's supposed to do. It's keeping you safe. It's protecting you. When in fact, it's probably creating more of the anxiety and the worry and the uncertainty of what to do next. Because until I understood how my mind worked, I just thought I just couldn't change it. And it was part of who I was. I would overthink everything. so much. It would always keep me frozen in fear. I wouldn't even start projects. I wouldn't start anything new. I talked myself out of everything that I truly wanted because I didn't know any different. I used to believe I wasn't good enough, or I wasn't capable, or I wasn't worthy of having success or my own business. And I definitely didn't deserve any more wealth or joy. And that is what kept me stuck, limited, because I thought that was the reality. I didn't think I could change it. So until I really grasped my thoughts and understood they weren't my truth and I could actually change them, yeah, that's what I kept. Our minds generate thousands of thoughts every single day. And many of those thoughts are the same ones we had yesterday, the week before. So it's no wonder we're going to start to feel overwhelmed, anxious, and end up exhausted before we've even begun, because we've rehearsed everything that could go wrong. And so many times we've done that over and over, the brain starts believing it's already happened. So that is why the very first step in changing how we do anything, we need to know exactly what do we believe about ourselves, our own self-awareness. That comes back to one of my favourite statements from Carl Jung, is until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And that resonates so much. In other words, until you're actually aware of what's creating your patterns, your behaviours, your thoughts, your actions, say your reactions to life, then you're simply going to repeat them over and over again. And the interesting thing is, most people think they're actually responding to things that are happening around them. But often, they're responding and reacting from the old beliefs that they've carried for years and most of their life, as your mind will always going to filter what you see from what your beliefs currently are. You only see what you believe. Your mind will show you and focus on what you believe about everything, everyone, and every situation, and the entire world you live in. It's almost like when a woman, say, who believes she's not good enough, she will continuously see evidence of that everywhere, in her relationships, maybe at work, at home, family dynamics, and how she shows up for herself. And that energy she gives out will increase the outcomes which prove her right. So, say, let's a woman who believes she's going to be rejected. That will create the hesitation before she ever speaks up about herself. She won't put herself in places to become more visible, to expand her wealth and growth. She won't start a business with ease. She's going to stay small, hidden. And she won't believe she's capable of creating her dreams. And a woman who believes success maybe is hard will unconsciously create the struggle, the hustle, and end up often in burnout. And it's not because it's true. It's because the program her mind is running is creating it. This is why self-awareness changes everything for the better. My old beliefs were so disempowering, they literally kept me small, hidden, fearful, scared. I was so frightened to change, and I wasn't worthy of any success. So I never even bothered going for it. I didn't believe I could learn anything new or I could change. So I was playing the full victim mode for most of my life, to be honest, up until around 4 years ago, until I made that bold, brave step to change my life in every direction, because I had fallen to my knees. I was fed up, moaning, complaining, struggling with a lack of money, never enough time to do the things I would love to do, let alone the money to be able to do them. And I thought that was my life forever, until I asked one question. Who the hell am I, and what is life truly about? Because once you can see the patterns, you can rewrite them, you can change them. You can't change what you're not aware of. For me, one of the biggest shifts was actually realizing that my thoughts weren't facts. They weren't truth. Just because my mind told me something didn't make it true. If thinking I was capable, I was. If I felt I wasn't, I wasn't. But I got to choose. I didn't have to stay in the unworthiness of believing everything my mind was bringing up. I could change the stories, the conditioning, the limiting beliefs that I had taken on earlier in life, on which they weren't my truth at all. So now I can change them. I can actually empower myself and change my whole perspective of life, which I have. And I don't accept those negative thoughts anymore. I simply flip them. I now hear them. And I immediately start to question them. Before, I just listened and thought it was who I was. Actually, the biggest lies I ever heard about myself were often my own thoughts, which would love to be on full repeat every hour, every day of the minute, every day, and become my entire reality. So if you take just one thing away from today's video, let it be this. You do not have to believe every thought you think that pops up in your mind. And you certainly don't have to build your life around them. Because the moment and the very second you become aware of the belief, underneath that thought, you finally have the power and the control to choose something different. Some of the questions that I ask myself the moment those thoughts pop up, I ask myself, is this really true? Does this really help me now? Does this put me forward? And what new belief would actually help me reach that goal that I'm after faster? I then often repeat that new belief, and I will keep that in my mind. I'll write it out daily. We need repetition, and I'll start looking for evidence of where that new belief might be showing up in my life already. That's a game changer. I'll give you an example. Now, I'm currently starting to speak on stages, so the normal fears start racing up, and my mind starts bringing up, oh my God, what if people laugh at you and you freeze, or you forget what you're going to say and they don't understand what you're saying? So then your mind is going to find ways to sabotage me, particularly to stop me feeling that judge, that criticism. It doesn't want me to feel that pain again. So it's just working from an old belief. It's not safe to be seen. It's not safe to be more visible. So now, instead of just letting those negative thoughts get control and build even bigger beliefs and stop me doing what I want to do, I think, what would be more empowering? What would I love to believe that would be true, that would show me all the reasons I'm excited to be on the stage? So that new belief that I've created is that I love speaking on stage, sharing my wisdom and joy with an audience that loves to hear what I've got to say. And then the second step, I've now created that new belief. I go back and I bring up memories where I've spoken in front of people before in my past, especially back in my NHS role, where weekly I would have to speak to groups of women. And I go back and I remember how well it went and how calm and confident I am speaking about what I love and know so well. And I keep that image, and most of all, the feeling that it brings. And I keep that in my mind as a vision for several minutes. And then I feel and see that as I write it out again and again, and I start visualizing that new belief of me on stage, feeling confident and actually seeing it going better than I expected, and how fast it went. And now people are asking me questions and want to know more about what I was talking about. I see the entire picture and the preferred outcome that I create from that new belief I chose to have, not the current disempowering one that's creating the thoughts of doom, as I call them. You don't have to believe your thoughts. They're not yours. Most of them aren't yours. You've just got to get aware of what you're hearing and start to change them. Just like you would pick up your clothes to wear in the morning. You're going to pick clothes up that generally make you feel good about yourself. You have the power to pick your thoughts in the same way by simply finding out what is creating those, what beliefs are underneath, and what would you prefer to feel and see and have in your life right now. And if you're ready to know who you truly are, my group coaching program is open for women who are ready to rise, reconnect to their truth. So all my details can be found in the notes below, or you can contact me on social media. And I'm so grateful you're here today. And so not to miss out on future videos, where I speak more about how you can grow that confidence. Stop overthinking. Because overthinking isn't the problem, it's a symptom. It's always the belief underneath, which is the real issue. And you always have the power to change that. It was just an old survival pattern, and it's waiting for you to become aware and change it, if you so wish. So when you're ready to embark on your next level, you're ready to join other women who also are having the experiences they wanted in life, instead of life just taking over, then I currently got spaces. So contact me and just ask yourself, what is it I truly want out of life, and what beliefs are stopping me? Because it's a magical feeling and knowing when you can see how fast your life and entire reality can change for the better, because you change what's currently creating it. So until next time, with love and thanks.